right now. Left hooks in Florida. The biggest blows in one wild night for Democrats. And the raging debate over Bernie Sue. Plus, Cedric the Entertainer puts his spin on hot topics. Then, can Joy make Paula funny? She's giving her comedy lessons before Paula makes her stand-up debut live on The View. It all starts now on The View with Whoopi, Michelle Collins, Joy Behar, Candace Cameron Bure, Raven Simone, and Paula Ferris. Now, let's get things started.
I guess that medication they put in the Kool-Aid is working.
Can we get some of it?
Yeah. You might need it today, Paula.
I do. I'm a little nervous.
Paula's doing something very special today on the show. I'll tell you about it later, though. I'm going to just tease them a little with it.
Only you could set me up for this.
And she's doing it completely clothed. That's what's new. Hello and welcome to The View. ABC News senior legal correspondent Sunny Hostin and Fox News analyst Jedediah Bila are back at the table. Okay. We usually talk about the debate off the top, but we'll do that in a few minutes. I want to talk about this guy. Okay, this guy, Jeremy Weeks, his name is. He's called the hot felon. Look at his picture.
Jeremy Meeks.
He's pretty handsome, isn't he? What did I say, Meeks or Weeks?
Weeks. His name is Meeks. You've been thinking about him for weeks, but his last name is Meeks.
You see, she's getting good. Very good, Paula.
Why are you guys so surprised when I'm funny?
Because it's very rare.
Love you. You just wait.
Oh, I'm waiting.
You wait. I got a surprise for you later.
Anyway, this gorgeous felon, he's handsome, isn't he?
He's gorgeous.
Yeah. And you know what the thing is? He's a free man. Let me finish telling you what it is. Because he's a model now. He got out. He's eyeing a modeling career. And you know what? He already has an agent. I can't get an agent, but this convicted felon has an agent. So, what do you think?
I don't think that he's sexy.
You don't?
I don't think that he's cute. I got to tell you, and Paul and I are playing a drinking game whenever I say I'm a former prosecutor, and then we say, so I'm about to take one.
It's water, by the way. Don't worry.
You know, I met a lot of felons, right, as a prosecutor, and I've been in the federal penitentiary visiting with cooperators, and his teardrop tattoo rang a bell for me. Now listen to this. It could either be a gang sign for carrying out a murder or relating to time spent in prison, or when a person has lost someone close to them and then they fill it in when they get revenge. And he also has the word Crip on his right forearm.
See, now that just makes him even more attractive to some women.
Oh, yeah.
What you just said makes him even hotter. Am I right?
Really? A lot of ladies like the bad boys. So you see a guy like this. I'm not a fan of the bad boy. I like the good guys. But, I mean, this guy is really hot. And he's been getting, they've been saying letters in prison from all of these women who want to date him.
I know.
And it's amazing, though, in this society, if you're gorgeous, you get glorified. This guy was
even
labeled
if you're ugly.
One of the most violent criminals. And people are like, it's all right, I'll take my chances.
You know, 3 years in prison, in federal prison. If you get a 3-year federal prison sentence, you are a bad boy.
He told reporters after he was arrested, though, that he was a gang member. I hate to break it to you. I know that's going to be an even bigger turn on for you, Joy, but he is married and he has kids.
I'm not interested.
He's off the market, okay?
Can we talk about the fact that someone's getting out of jail and getting a job and it's going to work for him? There is a rehabilitation to it.
Right.
Let's just break it down and saying, you know what? Good for you for getting something that's on the other end of the spectrum and getting a job.
That is true. That is true.
And he's not the only handsome person in prison. There are lots of handsome and very beautiful people in prison.
But you know what, Raven? The ugly ones, the Menendez brothers, one of them got married. Charles Manson was engaged at one point with a swastika on his forehead. They still want him.
Love for everyone, Joy. Yes, they
Which, by the way, could use a little Botox. It's starting to droop. Go ahead.
I think that people that are not in prison or haven't gone through it forget that those are still people. Those are still people that went through something. They deserve love. They deserve connection. They deserve a little bit of attention.
I'm just saying he's hot.
That's all we're saying, is that he's hot. Nobody's saying he shouldn't have a shot.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel as if sometimes people say that. Oh. Sometimes people like, you know, he's a gangbanger. He shouldn't be able to do this. But there's a lot of gangbangers in our music industry. And roaming around the streets right now, not gangbanging anymore.
You think he's hot?
I think he's very sexy. You're going to judge somebody just because of the tattoos. That could have been their previous life. That could have been their life.
Teardrop. Okay, speaking of sexy, who watched the Democratic debate last night? Those two, huh? Hot.
Love Bernie.
Okay. Because last night in Florida, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders went after each other like Kim Kardashian and Bette Midler, in case you missed it. Hillary surprised a few people with this admission. Watch.
Only 37% of Americans consider you honest and trustworthy.
I am not a natural politician, in case you haven't noticed, like my husband or President Obama. So I have a view that I just have to do the best I can, get the results I can, make a difference in people's lives, and hope that people see that I'm fighting for them.
So what do you think? Did it help her or hurt her?
I think she's trying to come off as a regular gal. I think she's looking and saying, this is the year of the non-politicians. You see Donald Trump. People think of Bernie Sanders as a non-politician, even though he's been in there forever, because he has that demeanor. I think this is her way of saying, you know what, I may not be so good at this debate stuff. I may not be so convincing. I'm not so great at the game, but I'm great at the policy, so look at me. But the problem is when you look at Hillary Clinton, you think of a typical politician. Most people do.
Yeah. Why?
Because she has that demeanor about her. That's why people, young people in particular, are flocking to Bernie.
See, I thought differently. I thought she was saying maybe I'm not as charismatic as these other people, but I'm sort of this policy wonk. And for me, I want the president of the United States to be smarter than I am. I want them to be diplomatic. I want them to be cool under pressure, and I want someone like that. So I thought that it was very real for her to say, I am not very comfortable being in the public eye.
To Margaret Thatcher, you need to lighten up, Margaret.
Or Merkel.
Really, or Angela Merkel. These two women.
I have a problem with everybody still saying that she's untrustworthy, and I said this in the meeting, and I want to say it out here. I feel like there's this stigma since the beginning of human race that a woman is untrustworthy. It starts in the Bible. It goes through religions. Eve, not Adam, just Eve, because Eve is the reason stuff happened, supposedly.
Didn't she make him eat the apple or something?
She didn't. Come on now. So I feel like there's always a stigma for women, no matter what country you're in, because I even hear that, you know, in the workplace, managers are less likely to believe female employees are using flexible work hours.
I don't think it's just the stigma, though. I mean, I agree with you, you know, in terms of maybe in the Bible, women take the flack. I think there is a double standard in politics, but I think with this, I mean, she's still under investigation by the FBI, and I think that's why that number is so low of people that don't trust her. But a lot of people think she is qualified to be president, but they don't trust her.
But she's explained many times. She's explained many times what the situation was and why they're coming after her and what retroactive
effect of it. But
I think that's a problem. Get over it already.
And also, if you look at the stats, only 27% of people believe Trump is honest. Yet he is the presumptive nominee.
That many? Wow.
20.
That's actually higher than I thought.
27%.
That's high.
20%, 7%.
We have to take a break, but we'll be right back with more hot topics.
To catch a cheater. Could you be missing telltale signs your man is messing around? Tomorrow, it's Whoopi's birthday bash, and everyone's partying at the View. Robert De Niro, Billy Crystal, Disco Great, and an audience surprise like you've never seen. And coming September 6th, it's The View Season 20 on ABC.
Paula's getting ready for her big debut.
I'm regretting this decision more and more.
You're regretting it?
I'm regretting it.
Okay, well, we're going to get through it. Don't worry about it. But let's do this subject first. Have you ever suspected that your mate is cheating? The website Your Tango, who ever heard of it? They list these telltale signs. So, for example, he suddenly loses a ton of weight, or he spends more time at work. You know, suddenly the nanny is pregnant. Things like that. No, I made that up. I made that one up.
A little subtle.
But I mean, has that ever happened to you? What are the telltale signs for you?
It hasn't happened to me, but I remember one of my closest, dearest friends called up looking for her husband, who went out in a snowstorm saying that he wanted a yodel. Remember those like Twinkie type things?
He wanted a yodel.
And so
is that what he was calling it?
So he comes home. He comes back home without the yodel, and then she actually gets dressed. She asked him where he bought the yodel from. She said, you know, at a gas station. She gets dressed, brings a picture of him, and finds out that they don't sell yodels, and is like asking all of the people at the gas station, "Have you seen this man? Have you seen this?" And I was like, "He's cheating on you." Like, you know, like
she thought he was missing.
She didn't know. She was just like, "Doesn't it seem odd that he's searching for a yodel in the middle of the snowstorm?"
What exactly is a yodel? It's like I'm totally lost. I'm thinking like yodeling.
Cake, like a Twinkie.
It's delicious.
Oh, well, there was some sort of cake.
Anybody else? Anybody else?
Like that.
I think it's the technology. I know I have a lot of friends where even if it was a mutual friend of theirs, sort of deleting the person in the texts from the phone. I think that's a telltale sign. Or if they're hiding their phone, or they change their password.
Or if they start smelling differently in different areas.
They go from bad to good, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They
Suddenly
change
they
their
have
appearance.
aftershave lotion. A friend of mine thought her husband had a brain tumor. He was acting so crazy, you know, all scared and nervous, and she was so sympathetic to him, and then you found out, you know, that she thought he was going to die. When she found out he was cheating, she wanted to kill him. That's a true story.
Yeah.
Also, if they all of a sudden like their privacy a lot, they go from these really clingy guys that are texting all the time and want to have dinner all the time, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm really busy, and they're like locked up in their room and they're on their phone, and you know, any kind of behavior that's not normal, that is unpredictable from men, I'm always like,
well, okay. Speaking of that, have you ever walked past a group of guys on the street and they go, yo, mama, big. You ever have that? Did that ever happen?
Yes.
I like it.
There's a woman. You're not alone. You're not alone.
See? Some
There's
women
a
like
woman blogger somewhere in the stratosphere who says that as she's gotten older and it has calmed down, she misses it. Do you miss it?
I don't miss it because I still get it.
There you go.
Still get it. But I will say, I was walking with my mom the other day, and my mom is just this beautiful, just classy woman, and these men were, and I was like, oh, enough already. And my mother said, I miss not getting that, and you will too. And it was really fascinating.
Something, you reach a certain point, but I think it's all about the clothes. I really do.
I agree.
An 80-year-old woman in a wheelchair with a short skirt will get a catwalk.
Maybe.
All you have to do is wear the short skirt. Half of these guys can't even see that far. They were like, oh, Mita.
I don't think it's always the clothes, though, because I don't dress. I dress. I would say I'm more of on the spectrum of a modest dresser, because that's how my mommy raised me.
I never noticed that you were that modest a dresser.
Not around you, sweetie.
Well, where did you come up with that? You're a modest dresser.
I'm a modest dresser.
You wear short skirts on the show. You wear high heels. That's hot.
Not super,
and she'll
super short.
undress in front of you in
She
a minute.
gets undressed.
Okay, fine. I'm an exhibitionist. All right, everybody. You blew my cover.
You're a slut, and you know it.
No, but I will say.
We've all seen her.
All right. You haven't seen all of it, sweetie. You haven't seen my yodel, if you know what I mean. So I will say.
She's warming up.
No, I did have a point. I just got a little distracted because you were all distracting me. But I will say I'm 40. I have 3 kids. And listen, if you want to say I look nice, I think there's a difference between totally objectifying and reducing me to a piece of meat as opposed to saying, hey, you look really nice today. Like, I like to know that I've still got it, even though I've got 3 little
How about
kids.
you want a little sugar baby? That's really a turn on.
I do want some sugar.
I want to understand what it is for the man. Like, there's this one person who tweets and he says, as a man, you think about your daughters, nieces, sisters, and mothers before opening your mouth. And that's what I want to just kind of say. Even I don't like it. I don't like when that happens to me. And I also don't do that to a guy or a girl that's passing by. I don't think it's respectful at all. I don't think it's fair to
these guys enjoy it, though. They enjoy it.
I know they enjoy it, but I don't know if they know exactly what's happening while they're in the midst of feeling all that blood rushing.
Have you ever been with like your partner and they like turn around and look at somebody else's butt?
Yeah.
Guys are really simple. Women
too. Let me just say.
Women complicate men a lot. I feel like guys see something. It's like they're looking at an ice cream sundae. They're like, you know, they can't help themselves. And they have to say something.
And
you know?
we do that too to the guy who just got out of prison. Let me just say that just
not me.
So don't try to put it on me.
All right. But, you know, that guy's hot. I'm just saying. And the little teardrop is so adorable.
Mr.
Now,
Meeks, baby.
Paula, you are making your stand-up debut on comedy on television coming up very shortly. How are you feeling? Are you nauseous? Do you feel like throwing up?
I am a little nauseous, I have to say. Like, is that a normal feeling?
Yeah, okay. Well, get yourself unnauseous. Go puke. We'll be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I think I need some prayer, actually. Maybe that's the only thing that's going to help. Can you lay your hands on me and just,
And let us,
Yes,
let us put the comedy funny Jane in her.
Bring it in.
All right.
Amen.
If you just allow her to tickle someone's fancy, okay?
So the ladies got real about sex.
A study found that the millennials are twice as likely to be sexually inactive.
They don't have time to get offline.
They don't go to the bar to ask somebody out. They text it.
They don't appreciate empty, meaningless sex like my generation.
OMG. Anything goes. Tomorrow on The View on ABC.
I always say leave the jokes to the comedians, right? But I can't get Paula to listen. She wore me down so much I went on a mercy mission to help her watch. When Paula tries to crack a joke on The View,
We don't spoon, we fork. Bad joke?
Yeah.
Really bad.
it doesn't quite land.
Idris Elba brought his daughter. Susan Sarandon brought her twins.
Yeah.
Paula's been waiting. Nobody got that joke?
She's been nagging me to help her with this, and so I'm going to do it. All right already. I'm taking Paula Farris to a comedy club. We'll give her a little help and some material, and then we're going to throw her in the water and see if she can swim. And if she drowns, then...
Welcome to the Comedy Show. You guys ready for a show?
I think this is probably the worst idea we've ever come up with on this show. And I've been here for 20 years.
I feel a little vomitous. So
That's good. This is all good. This is wonderful. The more vomitous you feel, the better the set will be.
I don't... Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. She's ready.
Can we say a pregame prayer?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Joy Behar.
I started doing comedy 32 years ago. I would die. You go home, you say, I'm never doing this again. And then you try it again. Eventually, you actually have an audience that likes you.
All right, so let me introduce the funny, the fabulous Paula Farris.
I'm regretting this decision. How many of you love brunch? What's the deal with brunch, though? Isn't it basically just breakfast for people who don't want to... See, I screwed it up!
Try it again.
It's breakfast for those of you that want to sleep through breakfast. Let's just call it what it is. It's not brunch. You just don't want to get up, right? Was that funny?
I felt sad for her.
I feel like that little airplane going, and then it crashes. Did I just crash? I have to say, like, when you know that the joke doesn't land and when it bombs, it's an awful feeling. Awful.
I know.
Like, I kind of wanted to kill myself.
I thought that you weren't terrible for the first time.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty good, actually. You have to come up with your own stage persona. We have to know, who is Paula?
Who am I?
I'm in awe of your confidence already, so don't worry about it.
Round two.
Okay, go get him.
You know, my husband and I do make it a point to practice our faith at home. For instance, when we moved into our home a couple of months ago, we christened every room. We're all familiar with that, right? I'm funniest when I talk about sex. I'm a newswoman, but I have needs, okay? So last week I was in bed with my husband and I screamed, "This just in." Joy?
She was great, wasn't she? Very good. Very funny.
I'm a survivor.
She will survive. You see, the persona that you have that's funny and original is this horny Christian thing that you've got going.
I mean, like, sex is my wheelhouse.
Well, and listen, sex always gets killed.
It's funny.
And of course, I say you do it on the air, on The View, live. No cards.
No cards?
No cards.
I need a hug.
Oh, all right, fine. Okay.
Don't let go, please.
All right, go. All right, that's enough. Okay, please welcome, for one day only, comedy stylings of Paula Faris. Yeah.
Joy, I needed a hug. And you I need a hug.
Sorry.
I need a pre-game hug. Please, I know you won't pray with me, but give me a hug.
Never let them see you sweat, Paula.
Okay, and you know...
she's looking for sympathy. Don't give it to her.
No, don't give it to me.
Go ahead.
The only reason that I decided to do this because she promised to make me a lasagna. She knows that the way to my heart is through my stomach.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'm looking forward to that lasagna.
All right, fine.
Okay, so the big joke around here is that I married young. And on the East Coast, I married when I was 24 years old, which is not abnormal back in the Midwest. But I've got to be honest, I was pretty naive. I didn't know a whole lot about sex. I actually thought that missionary position was a job that you took with UNICEF. So, a lot to learn. And when I say that we were young, thank you for laughing. You really made me feel good. When I say that we were young, I mean we were kids. My husband and I, both 24. For instance, our honeymoon suite, we actually broke the bed that night. We broke it because we were jumping up and down so much. We were kids. You know, I don't want to say he's immature, but I had to tell him this is not a bouncy castle, sweetheart. Okay. So...
Always go out on a big laugh.
I'm going on a big laugh, that's right. Okay, so the other joke, we like to say it's a drinking game around here. Anytime I mention faith, family, that I'm a journalist, or that I worked in sports, you can take a drink. So everybody, take an imaginary drink right now. I love sports. It was a big week for sports. Peyton Manning announced his retirement. You guys know that Maria Sharapova got in a little bit of trouble as well in the Aussie Open. And I've got to say, I worked in sports for 10 years, best time of my life. But I kind of miss it. I miss working in that environment. I have to say, though, the locker room's pretty crass, vulgar, a lot of swearing, a little bit of nudity. Actually, when I think about it, though, it's kind of like the makeup room here at The View. So... All right, so who here has kids? Raise your hands. I have 3 kids. I love them dearly. They're 8, 6, and 2. I love them so much, but I've got to say, they're kind of like a house full of Republican candidates. They are. They're as loud as Trump. They're as belligerent as Cruz, even though they're the size of Rubio. I will not mention the size of my children's hands, everyone, okay? But I just want them to be like Ben Carson and go to sleep. You know what I mean?
Before me. Okay, give it up one more time for the fabulous Paula Faris.
You're a great teacher.
You are terrific.
Now I'm following Paula Faris in her comedy stylings. And when I say stylings, I use that term loosely. Hey, Cedric the Entertainer, I'm coming up next. Yeah.
Happy 20th anniversary. Wow.
Congratulations, 20.
The big 2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
Happy 20th.
Paula's stand-up debut would be the warm-up act for one of the original kings of comedy. Joining us for Hot Topics, please welcome Cedric the Entertainer.
Help it.
I mean, it was the Holy Spirit fire from you.
I put on you.
It was. Thank you for your anointing.
She was good, wasn't she good?
Yeah, I thought that was really great, though. You know, it was nice. And you ended big. That's what Joy told you to do.
I did.
Big joke. I thought you were about to start another joke, though.
You did?
Yeah, you were like, I got one more. Like, Joy, no, sweet.
Get the hook.
Boo-boo. That's it. That's it. Come on.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye, Felicia.
All right, let me hit you with some Hot Topics, Cedric.
Did you hear what she said?
What is
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Who are you today?
I'm telling you.
I know it.
People would be surprised at Paula Faris. People would be surprised.
Yeah.
And there was no liquor in her system. Continue.
All right.
That you know of.
All right, so here's a hot topic for you, Cedric. At a town hall last night, Marco Rubio, he admitted he regrets some of the personal attacks that he has been throwing at Trump. Let's watch the clip, and then you can answer that or respond.
In terms of things that have to do with personal stuff, yeah. You know, at the end of the day, you know, that's not something I'm entirely proud of. My kids were embarrassed by it, and I, you know, if I had to do it again, I wouldn't.
So how do you feel about candidates, you know, talking about the hand size and other things?
Yeah, I mean, he should be embarrassed. It's like being in the shower with someone going, wait, what is that? You know, I think he could realize that he kind of caught himself, you know, going too far. And, you know, I think the fact that his kids were embarrassed for him, that's got to be sad when your kids go, Dad, really?
Yeah. At least he apologized, though, because, you know, Trump said, I'd play this ad again when they put all of his videos of him cussing together, and he was like, I'd still play it. At least Rubio apologized and showed for his faults, but I wonder if, you know, he'll still do that if he gets...
He jumped the shark that day, that he went after late. It didn't work.
I don't know, maybe I'm the lone wolf on this, but I thought it was kind of cool that he went after Trump. You know, I know that Trump has sort of been in the gutter when he's doing that, but it was entertaining, it was fun to watch, and what was more fun to watch was Trump's reaction. He did not like it. Did you see it? He did not like it.
Now that's the thing. You can't back down from a bully. Like once you attack him, you can't go, "Oh, I'm sorry."
That's
you
true.
know,
That's
like
true.
now he's going. You know, Trump will just keep attacking you after that.
Don't you find bullies are always the most touchy and sensitive? You can never say anything to them.
Exactly. Yeah. The spray tan will just come off his
There's a mother in Toronto. She had her son and his girlfriend living in her basement apartment rent-free for over a year, okay? And then she started feeling unappreciated, okay? Well, first of all, she asked the guy to do something for her, and he said no. He wouldn't do it.
On multiple occasions.
Her son. She has your son.
The son, right.
Yeah.
So she sent her son a bill for $39,000.
Smart.
He's like, yeah, right. With his girlfriend, too.
But that's what the problem was. She didn't really like the girlfriend.
You think so?
Yeah, you know, the mother is like, you know, because her son could live there forever. You know, some sons, they just like 80 years old.
I don't appreciate it.
They're waiting for the mom to die so they can keep the house. They don't know.
My mom, it's funny, my mom and I, yes, I know you're watching, Mom, but she stopped cooking for my father and myself when I was around 13 because she said we didn't appreciate her. So that's how I learned to cook. She was like, I'm not cleaning up, I'm not cooking for y'all, y'all grown.
What would she have liked you to say to her to show that you appreciated her?
Instead of just throwing my clothes and saying, can you wash this for me? Probably saying, Mom, thank you so much for washing my clothes. Can you wash this for me?
A little appreciation, please, for all the mothers.
And I think the mother had the right to actually say, you know what, you're not I don't feel appreciated. Here's the money for all the things that you're making me do. She should get paid.
I'm really glad my mother didn't do this with me because I was expensive. That would have been like Santa's list just rolling out of all the things I cost her. But I mean, I get where the mom's coming from. I feel like kids need to be appreciative, but I also feel like if you're a parent, you got to go into it knowing that kids are kids and it's your responsibility to kind of take care of them and hopefully you get a thank you.
They're all a bunch of rats.
Don't take care of their kids. I started working at 3. Let me know. It was a family effort.
She'll take that bill. She'll take that bill back when she realizes that he tried to do a second mortgage on her house. What else is he gonna get $39,000? This same bum right there.
A reverse mortgage.
On her house. It's like, here you go, Mom.
I know, you know, in the earlier in the show, we're talking about men going yo 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 yo, you know, on the
Just
street.
like that.
Yeah.
That's exactly how they do it.
They do.
Right?
They do.
Could you do that again for all of us, please?
Yeah, nice.
So, first of all, have you ever done that to a woman?
You know
Not
you have.
that way.
Show the world. Show the world.
Let's see how you do it.
Like, hey, how you doing, Miss Lay? With the grab. I think, yeah, it's the arm grab that's probably intrusive.
No, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it.
I know that.
Well, you're assuming that you're close enough to touch her. Usually they're in a sewer or something. And they're yelling.
It's the same thing. Hey, yo, Ma. Hey, yo, Ma. You looking real good, Ma. I swear.
What's good?
What's good? That's what
Like,
There's a violinist named Yo-Yo Ma. Did you know that? Poor guy. He must be very upset. Listen, you're the spokesperson for something, for Step On Up campaign. Tell us what that is.
Oh, Step On. My dad has type 2 diabetes, and
yes,
I wanted to get the message out. It's another condition that comes with diabetes, diabetic nerve pain.
Yeah.
Which people don't know that if they have diabetes, they can have this burning, aching pain in their hands and their feet, and they don't attribute it to their diabetes. And so, we thought it was important to get this message out. So, you know, I'm with the American Diabetes Association, and we have this campaign called Step On Up, and we want people to go and if you have diabetes and you think you have this condition of the diabetic nerve pain, you know, talk about it. Go to your doctor and talk about it, and we encourage you to step on up. And
so we didn't even know that there was pain associated with it.
Yeah, a lot of people, they think it's, you know, I'm fatigued, I've been standing on my feet all day, and they don't attribute it to the fact that they have diabetes, that this is why you know, have this other condition, which is a separate diagnosis. So. Are
you still on the road? What are you doing? What else are you doing?
Yeah,
you doing comedy?
The comedy Get Down tour was me, George Lopez, D.L. Hewley, Eddie Griffin, Charlie Murphy.
That's a great group. Very funny. Wow.
Yeah, we're in my hometown. We're in St. Louis this Saturday.
Oh, so St. Louis. Where are you going to be in St. Louis?
At the Scott Trade Center. So it's the biggest arena tour. So we're out there.
You can come.
Can I come?
Yeah, you can rock right now.
I have family there. Do you actually know the Kosteckis in St. Louis? Because I'm related.
Yes, of course.
Of course.
Everyone knows.
So if you're in St. Louis,
I'll meet him in St. Louis.
If you're in, oh, very good. If you're, oh, now she's really pushing it. Or now she feels like she's indomitable
She just can't
now.
stop right
she
now.
can say anything now. People are going to laugh.
Stop.
I know. Paula Frankenfarris.
Yes, exactly.
No, she was really funny. Well, you know, I taught her.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks to Cedric the Entertainer. See him in The Soul Man on TV Land March 30th, and in Barbershop 3, The Next Cut on April 15th. He's a busy man.
Determine my hair color for the next week. Let's see who's spinning this week. Purple 198. Girl.
So do you.
I love your hair. Okay, spin this wheel. Spin this wheel. You ready?
Is it heavy?
It's not heavy. Do your thing. Use those knees. Ready? Go. All right.
Yay. I want yellow. Yellow.
I want it rainbow.
Yellow.
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 Not too bad. Let me tell you what you've won, Nicole. You've won a View mug.
Love it.
There you go. Come on. Let's go to the table. So, next week, this is all for you. Next week, I'll be sporting some type of orange hair color, and as you guys know, we love to include you.
Love it.
We love to include you all online, so if you don't mind, post your favorite pics of you and your orange hair on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter with the hashtag Ravenbow, and it could end up on the show. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm, you know, pretty busy.
Yeah.
In the audience at the View, so it's fun.
You've got a couple young kids. You're just returning to reality TV as well, going back to the Jersey Shore.
Yes, it's definitely a different experience from Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore was just like my party scene. It was like I was single, I was young. So now I'm returning to reality. I'm going back down the shore, and I'm with my husband. We're restoring the shore from Sandy.
That's awesome.
So we're trying to just give back as much as we can. And flip houses. I mean, everybody's flipping houses, so we kind of wanted to jump on the bandwagon and try it out. And it was just a fun experience. It was really fun.
I heard that Snooki is dead. You don't want to use Snooki anymore.
Yeah, just because I'm not the same person I was on Jersey Shore. And when you think of Snooki, you right away think of the party girl from Jersey Shore. Now that I have 2 kids and I'm married and kind of planning on a 3rd kid, I mean, Snooki's just not really alive anymore. So.
But what do you think is the biggest misconception about you? Do people not understand you?
I think people still think I'm that same person, and I'm stupid. And I lack common sense, not gonna lie, but I'm a great mom, I'm a great wife. I know what I want, and I get it business-wise. And I'm very career-driven because of my kids. So I just want people to meet Nicole.
Well, Nicole, so I won't call you Snooki.
It's okay.
Nicole, you have 2 kids, planning on a 3rd. What would you think if your kids wanted to participate in a Jersey Shore reboot?
No.
Why?
No. So So here's the thing. Jersey Shore is my life, reality, TV, everything. That's my life. So I kind of want my kids to do something different. Like I'm a regular mom. Like I want them to be a lawyer or a doctor or an astronaut. You know, something like crazy like that.
Something wacky like that.
Something wild and successful. But you know, if they really wanted to do reality, I would obviously, you know, support them no matter what. But this is mommy's job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you're joining the next season of Celebrity Apprentice. Just found that out with Schwarzenegger. Now, what was it like meeting him? And I heard he said you reminded him of a friend of his, or
yeah. So every time we actually got to talk, he kept saying his little Danny DeVito. I was like, okay. I was like, you guys are good friends. That's good. So, you know, I got a one-up. But he was very sweet. And when you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, you think like this huge, like, A-list actor.
Terminator.
Yeah, that, like, doesn't want to talk to anybody. But he was so down-to-earth, and he was so nice, and leaving set every day with a cigar in his mouth and saying, see you guys. He was just, like, so cool, and I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to see you. We can't call you Snooki anymore, right?
You can, but
say no, girl. Say no.
Just say no.
Just say no.
My name's Nicole.
There you go.
Never give up the brand. Don't give up the brand.
Personally, Nicole.
Okay, so our thanks to Nicole Polizzi. I won't say Nicole.
Yeah, you got it.
And you can catch Nicole and Johnny's Shore Flip Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. on FYI, and we'll be right back. We are streaming live at abc.com/The View right after the show. And Snooki is, Nicole.
You'll get used to it.
I'm going to call you Snooki. I like Snooki. I think it's cute.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, she's sticking around for it. And have a great day, everyone. Take a little time to enjoy The View.